Hello? Dude. Hello? Paul Reggio? Went to Nurse High with you.
Oh, right.
So what are you up to now, man? Come on, give me the rundown. Make me jealous.
You can basically take the last 3 years of my life and we'll light them on fire. I lost all of my money and a lot of other people.
Welcome everybody to another Native Thoughts review, another movie review, this time for adult beginners. It's a little indie movie starring Nick Kroll, Rose Byrne, Bobby Cannavale, and Joe McHale. Quick synopsis. Nick Kroll plays a character by Jake, who he is one of those entrepreneur hipsters, and you know those little. It's mentioned like he's a hipster. I really didn't get that whole pressure, but supposedly he's a hipster. Created his business, and business falls. He loses all his money. He loses tons of people's money. He must move back to his hometown outside of, I believe, upstate New York, outside of New York. And he moves in with his sister, played by Rose Byrne, called Justin, and her husband, Danny, by Bobby Cannavale, who are really going out, I believe, in real life. And he must babysit his nephew as to help the sister Justin's recently pregnant. And as he goes along, he must learn to adapt and be more of an adult. And hopefully he learns that lesson. And that's kind of a quick synopsis for adult beginners. One thing about adult beginners, it is an indie comedy. It's a small indie comedy. The only problem is that it's an indie comedy that does not know where it wants to be. It draws in lines in which you have characters who are really raunchy, who say raunchy stuff in their comedy sticks, such as Nick Kroll, Joe McHale, but they're in a way in which it wants to be one of those indie darling movies in which it's about growing up, those overage hipsters, just like what's it called? Like the Squid and the Whale type of movie, like Francis Ha, like Obvious Child, you know, or kind of it wants to play in the vein of a Woody Allen hipster comedy, and it also wants to play like in the vein of those type of new hipster comedies that we have nowadays. And it does, but then again, wants to be a straight comedy, but it mixes and balances of it, because I feel like it's two different movies in one, mixed in one. And the only problem is that you have great actors. Nick Kroll playing an okay act. He's okay. He's playing an okay character. I believe him as that character. Rose Byrne, I believe that's what I say. I'm sorry if I'm fucking up her name. Who plays his sister. I like her character, but there's a point where I feel like she doesn't know what she wants. She has a perfect job, but I feel like she feels miserable. It's one of those where they didn't get what they wanted in life, and then what they do want in life, they don't have it, but they do have it in the end. You know, it feels like that. One actor, Bobby Cannavale, that's a great actor, they didn't get a whole lot. I feel like he came in and out. Who plays the husband, he should have a bigger part. He does have a big part, but it's a minimal big part, in which he needed whenever he needed it, you know? He mostly spends around the whole time watching the Jake's, Nick Kroll's character and Rose Byrne's character, who are brothers and sister, you know, who had a tragedy with their mom. Their dad really is out of the picture. He's moved on. And they have a problem in which they both always try to outdo each other, but not to the way in which they're both brother and sister, and they always both try their best to help each other. And there is some chemistry in there, but it just feel like they don't know what they want, and it feels like that gets in the way of the movie, because if they don't know what they want, then the movie does not know what these characters want to lead to. And it feels like one of those movies where if the character gets a perfect job by the end, it still seems like he's still miserable by that job by the end. You know, it feels like he didn't learn his lesson, but supposedly he did. It was weird movies. It's a nice little indie movie. I liked it to a point, but I do feel like where it could draw the line, you know, in which people are gonna think it's kind of boring. Because there are some points where I did find it kind of like, okay, it's not picking up any pace. It's in the same slow pace, but there is some funny stuff, dialogues going through. You know, you do have like some great cameos. Jason Mantzoukas and the guy from Saturday Night Live, and Joe McHale, who plays just a minimal role. I do believe he's a hipster because the way he's showing. Nick's character too, but I feel like he still has like that little townie in him. This is one of those movies where it's enjoyable to a point, but there are also points where I feel like the pace doesn't know where it wants to be. An indie drama or indie comedy, but then I want to be like a straightforward comedy, you know. I enjoyed it to a point, but there are also points where I did feel it falls really flat. And Dark Beginner is I mean, where I recommend it so you could go see it, I would say watch it because if you want to watch it at home, watch it at home. I would not say go out if it's in the movie theater, go watch it because I watched it VOD and I think I got my money's worth for what I watched. I do think it's like one of the movies where it could have been a little bit more better with with the actors that they have in there, with the comedians that they have in there. It could have been way more funnier, but it does falls apart with the whole pacing. It does not know what it wants to be. It's a mixed bag, and I wish it could have been more because I was actually excited for this movie. Just the way the lineup of the actors in there, it was great, but I was disappointed a little bit for it. But if I have to give any like great, sorry about that. If I have to give any great products, is great review about that is that I was just watch at home. Redbox. It is one of those Redbox Netflix movies where, as soon as it comes out on DVD or Blu-ray, it's gonna be on Netflix the next day, and I think you should at least watch it. You know, it's an okay movie. Well, everybody, that's the Native Thoughts review. It's a small review because the movie was not much of a big deal to talk about for a long pace. But if you're listening to this audio review on SoundCloud, you could watch the same audio review with visual as I'm looking into a camera on YouTube. Or if you look into YouTube on your screen, I'm talking to you. You can listen to the same audio, the same voice I'm talking on SoundCloud, Native Thoughts. And I hope you guys have a great night, great day. Go watch Avengers. It's a okay good superhero movie. Watch Adult Beginners. Go watch the rest of my reviews. I hope you guys have a good night, everybody, or a good day. Doesn't matter. Bye, everybody.